I've never believed in luck, at least not until that stormy evening when I stumbled upon Time's Echo. The small antique shop had always been a curiosity of mine, a whisper of stories entwined with the townsfolk's superstitions. But I felt a strange pull that night, a magnetic draw that sent a thrill down my spine as I pushed the creaking door open. The air was thick with the scent of aged wood and dust, a time capsule of forgotten memories. My heart raced as I stepped inside, and the bell chimed softly above me. Clara, the shopkeeper, looked up from behind a cluttered counter. Her piercing blue eyes seemed to see right through me, into the very depths of my soul. "Looking for something?" she asked, her voice raspy yet warm. "I'm not sure," I admitted, feeling a mix of curiosity and unease. "I just felt compelled to come in." "Ah, the call of the unknown," she mused, a hint of a smile playing at the corners of her lips. "Many are drawn here for a reason." As she spoke, my gaze drifted to the back of the shop, where a large, ornate mirror was draped in a heavy velvet cloth. It shimmered in the dim light, its edges intricately carved, almost alive. "What about that?" I asked, pointing. "That," Clara said, her expression shifting to one of seriousness, "is a mirror of truth. It shows you more than just your reflection. It reveals your deepest desires and fears. But be warned, the truth is not always kind." Her warning barely registered. I was entranced, my mind racing with thoughts of the life I longed for, a life filled with success, love, and purpose. As Clara unveiled the mirror, I stepped closer, my breath hitching in my throat. "What do you see?" Clara asked, her voice barely a whisper. I peered into the glass and gasped. The vision swirled before me. Images of me as a successful author, surrounded by friends, laughter, and adoration. "It's beautiful," I breathed, reaching out to touch the surface. "It comes at a price," Clara said, her tone grave. "The mirror can show you what you want, but it can also take away what you hold dear." "Take away?" I echoed, dismissing her words as mere superstition. I purchased the mirror, a mixture of excitement and disbelief swirling in my chest. Once home, I hung it on my bedroom wall, and immediately my life transformed. Inspiration flowed through me like a river, and my writing blossomed. I felt alive, filled with purpose, and soon, the world took notice. I landed a publishing deal, gained a social media following, and began making new friends. Every glance in the mirror reaffirmed my dreams, fueling my ambition. But with every triumph came a creeping darkness. I noticed odd things happening, shadows flickering behind me, whispers echoing in the silence. I tried to brush them aside, blaming fatigue, but deep down, an unsettling feeling began to settle in my gut. One night, I stood before the mirror after a long day of writing, and there it was, a dark figure lurking just behind my reflection. My heart raced as I spun around, but the room was empty. I was alone, just my imagination, I told myself, but the fear didn't dissipate. Instead, it intensified, each night growing heavier as the figure became a constant presence in the mirror, whispering secrets that chilled me to my core. "Don't you want it all?" it teased, a voice smooth yet sinister. "Just give in." "What do you mean?" I stammered, my voice trembling. "I can help you keep everything you desire," it promised, and I felt the allure of its words wrap around me like a warm blanket. "But you must make a sacrifice." I hesitated, feeling the weight of my decisions pressing down on me. The figure's eyes gleamed with hunger, and for a moment, my resolve wavered. "What kind of sacrifice?" "Something dear to you. It's a small price to pay for your dreams," it replied, its smile widening. Fear gripped me as I thought of my friends and family, my support system. But with each passing day, the visions grew darker. I started to see glimpses of my life unraveling, friends disappearing, my success fading, and my writing crumbling into nothing. The mirror was a paradox, revealing both my dreams and my fears. Yet, every time I turned away, the real world remained vibrant, filled with possibility. That night, After a particularly exhausting day, I found myself drawn back to the mirror. The figure emerged, and I felt a mixture of anger and desperation. "What will it cost me?" I demanded. "Just a piece of your soul," it whispered, its voice like silk. "You won't regret it." I was horrified at the thought, but the ache of longing clawed at me. In a moment of weakness, I whispered, "Okay, I'll do it." As I agreed, a surge of energy coursed through me. It was a strange sensation, lightness mixed with an unsettling emptiness. The figure smiled, and my heart raced with a mix of excitement and dread. The next morning, I woke up feeling invincible. My writing soared to new heights, and I was soon celebrated as a literary sensation. I traveled, signed book deals, and my name became synonymous with success. But as my life blossomed, I felt an ever-growing disconnect from reality. Laughter felt hollow, and the warmth of my friendships began to fade. I lost touch with the people I once cherished. Each time I glanced at the mirror, the dark figure seemed to loom closer, its influence wrapping around me like a suffocating shroud. It whispered sweet promises, and the visions began to blur the lines between my aspirations and my nightmares. One evening, as I sat before the mirror, the figure emerged more vividly than ever before, its eyes dark and piercing. "You can't live like this, Eliza. You need more." "What do you mean?" I snapped, panic rising in my chest. "I have everything I ever wanted." "Everything you wanted? Or everything you think you want?" it taunted. "You've lost yourself in this illusion." "No!" I shouted, desperate to reclaim my life. "I won't lose myself." "Then stop being so afraid. Just give in. Let me take another piece, and I will show you true power." With every moment, I felt more cornered, trapped in a web of my own making. "What will it cost me?" I demanded. "Just another piece of your soul. One more, and you will never feel fear again. You will control your destiny." "No!" I cried, backing away. "I won't do it." The figure chuckled darkly, and I could feel the walls closing in around me. I was spiraling into a void of darkness and despair, the mirror reflecting not just my physical self, but my very essence crumbling away. Days turned into weeks, and I became a prisoner of my own creation. I lost touch with reality, isolated from friends and family, consumed by paranoia. The mirror, my only companion, became a source of terror. Each glimpse revealed more horrors. Faces twisted in anguish, shadows lingering where my loved ones used to stand. One night, exhausted and broken, I stood before the mirror one last time. The figure stared back, its eyes hollow and hungry. "It's time to pay the price," it hissed, and a shiver ran down my spine. "No more!" I shouted, feeling a fire ignite within me. "I refuse to let you control me." I reached for the mirror, determined to shatter the illusion. But as my fingers brushed the surface, a strange sensation enveloped me. I was pulled into the glass, swallowed by darkness. Suddenly, I found myself in a different world, standing in an endless void. Around me were the souls of those who had sacrificed too much, friends, family, their faces twisted in pain and betrayal. They reached out, desperate for help. "Eliza," they cried in unison. "You must escape before it's too late." Panic surged through me. "What's happening?" I screamed, my voice echoing in the emptiness. "You made a deal," one of the faces said, tears streaming down her cheeks. "You traded your soul for success, and now you're trapped in a cycle of darkness. The mirror feeds on your fears." Realization crashed over me like a tidal wave. I had traded pieces of myself for fleeting moments of happiness, and now it was all slipping away. "No!" I shouted, fighting against the darkness closing in. "I won't be like this. I can break free." The faces around me began to fade, their expressions shifting from hope to despair. "You must find the courage to resist," they urged. "You have the power to reclaim what's yours." As their voices echoed in my mind, I felt a surge of strength. I turned back toward the mirror, focusing on the truth within myself. The dreams I once had, the friendships I had neglected, the love I had cast aside in pursuit of success. With a determined scream, I lunged at the mirror, pushing against the surface with all my might. The glass rippled violently, and I felt the darkness starting to fracture. "I choose my own path," I declared, feeling a warmth wash over me. "I will not be a slave to my fears." In that moment, the mirror shattered and light flooded the void. The faces around me smiled, truth within yourself. The mirror only shows what you allow it to show. Remember, Eliza, it can't take what you don't give willingly. With those words echoing in my mind, I fought against the suffocating grip of despair. I felt the weight of the countless dreams I'd sacrificed, the relationships I had let slip through my fingers for the sake of ambition. I recalled the laughter, the shared moments of joy that had once filled my life. I could not let them fade into obscurity. Suddenly, I felt an unfamiliar warmth inside me, a flicker of determination igniting my spirit. "No more!" I roared, the sound reverberating in the void. "I am not defined by this mirror or the darkness that haunts me." With each declaration, I felt the dark figure's influence weaken, its presence flickering like a dying flame. "You cannot escape me," it howled, rage and desperation lacing its voice. But I was done being afraid. I closed my eyes and summoned every ounce of willpower I had left, envisioning the life I truly wanted. Not the hollow success promised by the figure, but genuine connection, creativity, and love. I remembered the faces of my family, my friends, the laughter and the warmth we shared. "I choose to live," I shouted, feeling a surge of energy ripple through me. The void around me began to shift, colors swirling like a storm. I focused on the mirror, now a swirling vortex before me, and I could see my own reflection. A reflection that was not just a success, but a tapestry of my hopes and dreams woven together with the love and support of those around me. In that moment of clarity, I took a step forward, plunging into the swirling light that represented my true self. The darkness that had haunted me shrieked and roared, desperately trying to pull me back. I felt it clawing at me, but I was relentless. "You will not take me." The world around me exploded into brilliant light, the echoes of the past intertwining with my present. I was thrust back into my bedroom, standing before the mirror once again. This time, I didn't see the dark figure looming behind me. Instead, I saw my reflection, my true self, illuminated by a warmth that felt like home. The mirror began to shimmer, transforming into a gateway of sorts. As I gazed deeper, I saw flashes of the lives I had neglected, the relationships I had abandoned, and the moments of genuine happiness I had sacrificed for the false promise of success. "I'm sorry," I whispered, tears streaming down my cheeks as I faced the mirror's depth. "I was wrong. I won't let you control me anymore." The mirror vibrated in response, and for a moment, the air thickened with tension. I felt a pull, a weightlessness that threatened to draw me back into its depths. But instead of succumbing, I focused on the warmth that surged within me, the determination to reclaim my life. With newfound clarity, I reached out, placing my hand against the mirror's surface. I felt a surge of energy ripple through my fingers, connecting me to the world beyond the glass. Suddenly, the darkness that had once felt insurmountable began to unravel, exposing its fragile nature. The dark figure appeared one last time, its form disintegrating as I pushed through my fear. "You cannot leave. You belong to me," it screamed, but I only tightened my grip, grounding myself in the truth of who I was. "I am not yours," I declared, and with a final surge of determination, I shattered the illusion surrounding me. The mirror cracked, light bursting forth and enveloping me in its brilliance. I stumbled back, gasping for breath as I found myself standing in my room, the mirror reduced to shattered fragments on the floor. It felt surreal, as if I had awoken from a long nightmare. But the real shock came as I surveyed the room. I could hear the faint echoes of laughter and chatter, and when I turned around, I saw my friends standing there, concerned yet relieved. They had been trying to reach me, to pull me back from the depths of my obsession. "Eliza!" my best friend Maya exclaimed, rushing forward to embrace me. "We thought we lost you. You've been so distant." I felt the warmth of her hug wash over me, grounding me in reality. "I'm so sorry," I whispered, my voice trembling with emotion. I got lost in the pursuit of something that wasn't real. As the warmth of their presence surrounded me, I realized the true cost of my ambition. Friendships strained, connections severed, moments of joy sacrificed for an illusion of success. I had been so consumed by the idea of what I wanted to achieve that I had forgotten what truly mattered. "Can we start over?" I asked, my voice thick with regret. Maya smiled, tears in her eyes. "Of course, we're here for you." In that moment, the darkness that had once threatened to consume me began to lift. I understood that success was not measured solely by accolades or fame, but by the love and connections I nurtured along the way. As we sat together, reminiscing and laughing, I realized that the mirror hadn't just shown me my desires. It had revealed the very essence of what I had overlooked. The life I longed for was not found in isolation or obsession, but in the relationships I built, the laughter I shared, and the moments of vulnerability that made me human. I picked up a shard of the shattered mirror and looked at my reflection. It was fractured but beautiful, a mosaic of my journey, my struggles, and my triumphs. Each piece told a story, a reminder of the choices I had made and the lessons I had learned. As I placed the shard back down, I vowed never to forget the power of connection and the importance of facing my fears. I knew the darkness would always lurk in the corners of my mind, but now I had the strength to resist its call. I glanced around at my friends, their faces radiant with hope and love, and I smiled. "Let's make memories," I said, my heart swelling with gratitude. And as we laughed and shared stories late into the night, I felt a warmth envelop me, a sense of belonging that I had longed for. I had returned to myself, leaving the shadows behind, and for the first time in a long while, I felt truly free. In the end, the mirror had revealed the truth I needed most. That true success isn't about power or fame. It's about the connections we forge and the love we share. As dawn broke, illuminating the room, I embraced the warmth of a new beginning. One where I would cherish every moment, every relationship, and every piece of my shattered reflection. I had faced the darkness and emerged stronger, forever changed, but grateful for the journey that had led me back home.